the international friendly between host country Grenada featuring the Spice Boys and the visiting team from Jamaica, the Reggae Boys as they popularly known. The match today is played at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium, downtown Spice capital St. George's. And to bring you the live commentary alongside me is none other than Mr. Robert Samuel himself. Good evening, Robbie, and welcome to this live broadcast of this international friendly between the Reggae Boys and the Spice Boys.
Good evening, Smithy. It's a pleasure to be here this evening, sharing the commentary booth with yourself.
We welcome all the viewers on Flow Sports and those who are also looking on the World Wide Web on the Facebook platform of the Grenada Football Association. The teams are currently preparing for the Nations League, the Concacaf inaugural Nations League, which would begin in September this year. The official tournament would be played in September 2019. The qualifiers will begin in 2018. The players are going through their pre-match rituals here, the national anthems of the both teams, the FIFA anthem accompanying the teams onto the field. A beautiful atmosphere here down here at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Pristine conditions for soccer or football tonight. Not much fans have turned up thus far, but we expect a lot more fans to journey down to the Kirani James Athletic Stadium for this encounter between Jamaica and Grenada. We're going to start with the national anthem of Jamaica. Jamaica with a home-based team here this evening at the National Stadium. Several of the officials are here. The patron of the Grenada Football Association, Her Excellency Dame Cecilia Lagrenade, the Governor General of Grenada. She's accompanied by the President of the Grenada Football Association, Mr. Chenny Joseph. Also part of this inspection team, I would think Mr. Michael Ricketts, the President of the JFF, the Jamaica Football Federation. He was here and he spoke during the opening ceremony. So that's the Jamaica lineup there for you, being inspected now by patron of the Grenada Football Association. We welcome now the viewers on Flow Sports 1. It's a live encounter between the Spice Boys from Grenada and the Reggae Boys from Jamaica. It's an international friendly featuring these two teams as they prepare for the Nations League, which will begin in September of this year. And the two teams are going through their final paces, warming up and getting match ready and sharp for this tournament soon to begin. The last time these two teams met here in Grenada was in 2008, and the local Spice Boys had to come from behind to achieve a 2-1 victory in that encounter. Along with me here is Robert Samuel, and we're going to bring it to you live wherever you are on Flow Sports, 21 countries throughout the region. And for those of you who are viewing on the internet through the GFA Facebook platform. The teams are currently being inspected here by the officials. I see the Minister of Youth and Sport, Mr. Norman Cox, is there. Her Excellency, the Governor General, Dame Cecilia Lagrenade, and the President of the Grenada Football Association is also part of the inspection party. The Spice Boys in the predominantly green, that's the home outfit. Jamaica in the yellow and black here, or the gold and black.
Jamaica to be followed by the national anthem of Grenada.
So we're going to start with the official duties, the pre-match rituals as we call it, the national anthems of the both teams, and momentarily we will get ready for the kickoff of this international friendly between the two teams.
gentlemen, the national anthem of Grenada. Thank you very much.
So we've just had the national anthems of the both teams, the host team Grenada and the visiting team Jamaica. We're going to go through now the starting lineups for the both teams, and we're going to start with Jamaica. We have Amal Knight, number 13, the goalkeeper. Ladell Ritchie, number 4. Ricardo Thomas, number 6. Fabian McCarthy, number 5. Number 18, Kevin Isaacs. Number 8, Tevin Shaw. Number 11, Alex Marshall. Number 17, Peter Vassell. Number 14, Fabian Reed. Number 7, Daniel Green. Number 3, Johnny Tablot. The coach, Theodore Whitmore. Robbie now will take us through the starting lineup for the Grenada national team.
In goal, number 1, Jason Belfon. Number 14, Mark Elganis. Number 4, Leon St. John, captain for the night. Number 6, Shannon Phillip. 17, Alec Wilson. 21, Alec Andel. 19, Quasim Theodore. 3, Kennedy Hickson. 11, Siobhan John Brown. 10, Sadra Lewis. And number 12, Kareem Kutain. Grenada is coached by Shari Joseph, and this is actually his debutant game.
So it'll be interesting to see what Shari Joseph can do here with this very young Grenada team. As a matter of fact, the Grenada national team has only one player, that's the captain, who is above 30 years. All of the other players are under 30 years. The match officials for today's game: the referee, Kimball Ward from St. Kitts. Assistant referee 1, Denroy Barker from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And assistant referee 2, Kenron Daniel, also of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The fourth official, Rian Radix of Grenada. The match commissioner, Ricky Aberdeen, and the referee inspector, Valmont Pido. Any moment now, we will see the start of this friendly encounter between Jamaica and Grenada. Robbie, both teams sporting very young players here this afternoon and sharpening their skills for the Nations League. What are your expectations in this encounter?
Grenada has always done good at home against Jamaica. I mean, Jamaica is a powerhouse. Jamaica is their last FIFA ranking, they're ranked 54th in the world, and Grenada is 168. And you would say it's a David versus Goliath, but Grenada has always done good against Jamaica on home soil. Grenada has won 2-0 and also 2-1 as recent as 10 years ago. But it's the last time that they actually have played Jamaica here. So, but Jamaica are favorites as we know. But we expect a good game. We expect a very competitive game. We expect Grenada to give up their best, as well as Jamaica to give up their best. But it's going to be pretty much even Stevens throughout the first half. While both teams are going to be looking to feel a rhythm, and let's see where we head from there.
Well, Coach Shari Joseph would have been on that victorious team that defeated Jamaica some 10 years ago right here at the National Stadium. He's now the senior national coach, and so we want to see him on the other side of the table, so to speak, as a coach and not as a player here tonight. So for those of you who are very familiar with the Kirani James Athletic Stadium, Team Jamaica, they are defending the goal towards the power station, and Grenada defending the goal towards the city end. It's Spice Capital, downtown St. George. Kickoff here between Jamaica and Grenada. Jamaica in the gold and black. Grenada in the home kit, the predominantly green with the red and yellow stripes. Jamaica, we know, have had the better of Grenada in the head-to-head encounters over the years. Recall the last Gold Cup, Jamaica would have defeated Grenada 4-0. Grenada, as we said earlier, with a pretty young team here, and Coach Shalvi Joseph having the team to coach maybe for just over a month. We heard him in the press interview earlier on saying that he would have loved to have some more time and to be exposed to some more players. Shalvi Joseph would have done much of his football in the US for the Major League, as Grenada looking to put forward the first attempt on goal down the left-hand side. They're only in a corner very early in this encounter.
It's good movement there by Grenada. Good run by Michael Gannis on that left-hand flank. Well received corner.
An interesting lineup for Grenada, I would think, to Robbie. As we look at the corner to be taken here now. Not a good effort here by Grenada in that offensive move here, but only themselves a second corner. But we're not seeing that kind of aggression very early on. Not even many players inside of the penalty area. Now it's just about 3 or 4 players there. So pretty much not very attacking, although they have a corner at this point in time, is Grenada.
You will see the likes of Shannon Phillip inside the penalty area. I mean, very good with his head.
So Kazim Theodore curls this one. Easy take here for goalkeeper Knight. So it's pretty early yet, and we would look to see which team would settle into some kind of rhythm or coordination very early. And that's the no-nonsense Phillip there. That's Shannon Phillip. A very brutal player, Robbie. Here's Shannon Phillip.
He's a no-nonsense player. Former national captain as well.
That's Jamaica looking to muster an attack down the left-hand side. Alex Marshall it was who had to kick this one into touch.
We should see some good coordination in the back line of Grenada, with almost all of them playing for the same club, Hurricanes.
As we see Phillip here looking to find his man up front, but good defense here by Jamaica. Down the left hand side here is Green, Daniel Green. Gets past Phillip, curls it, but no help there for Green. Belfon keeping custodian of the goal for Grenada, who plies his trade in Trinidad now for W connection. Grenada would have brought back maybe some 3 overseas-based players, and Jason Belfon is one of them. So too is Shavon John Brown. He's the number 11 player. Kenneth Rickson also plays for W connection in Trinidad. So these are the 3 overseas-based players here for Grenada. Quasim Theodore, very much involved in the early runnings of the game, is Quasim Theodore. He had the 2 corners for Grenada, and now he's in that right midfield position.
I think he purposely put that ball out of play with the injury there to Shannon Phillip. Hope it's nothing too serious.
Well, he looks to be very much annoyed with whatever the situation is with him there, is Shannon Phillip. And for the sake of the Grenada team and the supporters here, we hope it's not the end of the game for Shannon. He seems to be very upset with the kind of injury he has received. But in early stages, Robbie, none of the teams have really settled into a rhythm yet and enjoying much of the possession of the ball. We expect that maybe they will take a couple moments to settle in. Jamaica, we think, might be the more experienced team here and might be able to settle into that rhythm first. Grenada obviously would try to prevent that from happening. But Phillip is up. He seems to be okay. He has a slight limp. He will be taken off and resume when the play continues.
He has a lot of heart, and he's going to play through it. See how it feels probably for the next few minutes. But he's a player of a lot of heart.
So we've just come through the carnival season, Robbie, and we're back into the football season. It's the actual start of the Grenada Football Association 2018 season. Earlier on today, we saw the official opening ceremony and the declaration of the season open, and this is the feature game for the opening of the 2018 season.
You know, Jamaica has a tough week ahead. They are here in Grenada playing tonight, and they're traveling to Barbados to play Barbados on Monday in Barbados, and then the following weekend in St. Vincent. So it's tough preparation for them for the upcoming Concacaf Nations Cup. But that's what's needed, because the tournament actually starts in September, and September is only 2 weeks away.
So match practice and match readiness is one of the strategies being used here to get the players fit and ready for the tournament ahead. And all of the teams participating would want to have that sharpness and readiness for the tournament.
Grenada's first game is actually against Curacao in Curacao on September the 10th. Besides this friendly tonight, I have no other scheduled game friendly for Grenada. But they should try to at least get at least one more game before that Curacao game, one more friendly.
So both teams still looking to find that rhythm. Jamaica coming through the middle here, surrounded by 4 Grenadian players, not being able to make the good pass here. But this is Kazim Theodore who has it here for Grenada, looking for his man on the right hand side, and that's Kutain Hickson from W Connection. Nice play inside of the penalty area here. An appeal for a handball here. The referee is not going to have any of that. Jamaica moves out down the left hand side. A nice ball played inside the penalty area there for the striker, Robbie.
Yeah, good finding there. Finding Cedra Lewis. And you know his nickname is Trigger. He's always happy to get a shot off, but he was more or less complaining about the handball. Ambitious attempt there by Theodore. There's also a rumor that that Lewis may be soon be playing his football in Trinidad. There's the interest of the likes of Caledonia knocking on that paradise door for Cedra Lewis. So let's see what the future brings for him.
So it's still a much pedestrian pace here. This friendly encounter between the Spice Boys and the Reggae Boys. The intensity certainly would pick up as this game prolongs.
It's good to see both teams invest a lot in youth, Smith. It shows an interest for development and growth. You look towards the Concacaf Nations Cup, and you say, you know what, we have to go to a young squad, and we have to go to a squad that not only for that tournament but for the Gold Cup and soon right after that, and the likes of the World Cup qualifiers.
Well, Jamaica would have had that experience already, having played in the
1998
World Cup, I beg your pardon. And that would have been, I think, the biggest moment in football.
That's right. Their coach, Whitmore, he was a part of that World Cup squad. He was a goal scorer in that World Cup as well, if I'm not mistaken. And Jamaica even won against Japan. And they didn't only represent Jamaica, they represented the broader Caribbean, because everybody throughout the Caribbean was so proud of them. Both themselves and Trinidad, when Trinidad qualified in 2006.
Well, we have not seen much of Shavon John Brown for Grenada in this encounter. He's one of the players who plays at the collegiate circuit in the US, and he can be a very nippy offensive midfielder. Not yet featured heavily in this game is Shavon John Brown. Jamaica with an opportunity here. The shot comes in and it's just wide, but a good attempt here by Alex Marshall. Alex Marshall letting goalkeeper Belfon know that he's on the pitch, and he's
that's right.
Got to keep him busy all night.
Keep him on his cues.
Grenada not looking too bad in the early stages, Robbie, both offensively and defensively, and occupying quite some possession in the middle of the field as well. That's Lewis here, Cedra Lewis, the dangerous striker for Grenada.
Yeah, the game is pretty much even Steven so far. I mean, it's the first 10 minutes so far. You're not going to get much from anybody.
Nice move here by Hickson, looking to get that return pass, not a good one. Grenada still enjoying some possession. That's Shavon John Brown now, playing out there on the left-hand side. Ball still with Grenada, and that was Karim Kutain who had that big heave at one, Robbie.
Yeah, that's on his weaker foot. His weaker left foot. But at least the idea is good. Get the shots off. Let it, keep the keeper aware that hey, I have good intentions.
So Grenada may be looking the better of the two teams at the moment, I would think, Robbie, with some maybe greater ball possession, striking some more passes than Jamaica at the moment, and creating some maybe slightly anxious moments in the offensive area of the field. Looking very much composed is Grenada at this time. Belfont in goal here, former captain of the national team as well. Jamaica on raid on goal here now. Would it be goal number one? It's goal number one for Jamaica. It's scored by Daniel Green. Green finding the opening goal here in the 12th minute of play. A defensive blunder by the Grenada defenders. And Daniel Green pouncing on the loose ball, making no mistake at all, putting Jamaica 1 goal ahead. Jamaica leads 1-0 in this encounter. A goal scored in the 12th minute of play. Robbie?
Terrible mistake there by Captain Leon St. John for Grenada. He gave away an easy pass there directly into the feet of the oncoming striker, and you're made to pay for that. Nice through pass came and that was it. It's a goal.
Yeah, what I like about Green is that he was well composed. He was in a 1v1 with the goalkeeper, and he made it look as easy as Sunday morning.
Yep. But it's early. I mean, it's only what 12 and a half minutes gone in the game. There you see the interception, through pass onto Green, and the rest is history.
Goalkeeper Belfont coming off his line, trying to thwart the effort here. Unsuccessful. Jamaica leads 1-0. Grenada looking to find that equalizer, goes down inside of the penalty area, and the referee is right on the spot here to make the correct decision.
The last time Grenada won against Jamaica, they actually came from behind. They were down 1-0 as well, so they can find some comfort in that and some encouragement that they can bounce back.
Let's hope they're able to maintain the shape, probably, because very often when you concede an early goal, it can really break up your rhythm and put the team into tatters. So let's hope that they can maintain the rhythm, play very patient, look to rebound from that situation. Jamaica is obviously going to be pressing hard to find a second goal and go ahead on this one, as they look to do so now, but the effort is not a good one.
Seen the crowd and the come out, Smithy.
It's an 8 o'clock game here, and much people would have gone to work today, gone home, refreshed themselves, and come on down to this national stadium to witness this international friendly between the Spice Boys and the Reggae Boys. Let's see if the likes of the Sadra Lewis, Shavon John Brown, Kennedy Hickson, who is the rock in the midfield for Grenada. W connection is where he plays in Trinidad. Skipper Richie holding the back together for Jamaica. He plays for Montego Bay. Tevin Shaw finds Ricardo Thomas.
Good work in there again by Hickson. Unfortunately, wasn't able to connect with his intended target of Karim Kutain. Goal kick for Jamaica.
So just about 15 minutes gone in this encounter, Robbie, and Jamaica having found the opening goal. Not much exciting football, so to speak. Both teams still not yet settled into a rhythm. As a matter of fact, the goal that was scored by Jamaica would have been a goal sort of against the run of play, considering that Grenada would have been enjoying much more of the ball possession, especially in the middle of the field, but Jamaica being able to pick up the loose ball here from the bad pass from the back and slipping through a nice through pass for Daniel Green, who found the back of the net.
Well, it's called making use of your chances, and even if you don't get much, but whenever you get them, make use of them.
Jamaica looking to come down the left-hand side again. That time with Alex Marshall. Good defensive work here now by Alex Wilson for Grenada in the right back position.
Alex Wilson is a nephew of former national coach Norris Bowser Wilson.
As a matter of fact, Bowser Wilson would have been the head coach when Grenada last defeated Jamaica here at the National Stadium. That's Shavon John Brown there. Finds his skipper. Hickson having some difficulty there with Jamaica. Jamaica looking to come through the middle this time with the likes of Tevin Shaw. But that's Cedric Lewis here. Has to contend with two Jamaicans. Earns his team a throw in the process. But it shows how early the Jamaicans closed down on the Grenadians, Robbie. Not giving them much time in the midfield at all.
But as you said earlier, I mean, the Grenadians still have a greater possession in that middle third of the field. And they have a greater intent in that final third as well. But better defensive work is being done, obviously, by the Jamaicans. And Jamaicans are more at first play more of a counter-attacking football.
So Jamaica looking a lot towards Alex Marshall on that left-hand side, wearing the number 11 shirt here for his team. And so a lot of the offensive moves down the left-hand side goes through him. They're looking to swing the play around to the right-hand side now. Goalkeeper Knight. Nice work here by Jamaica to maintain possession. Grenada playing a very high defense and really stifling them and squeezing them in. Looking to move down the right hand side now, but player been caught in an offside position there.
And the linesman raised his flag for an offside, but here you see goalkeeper Belfont taking a goal kick rather.
It's been quite a while since we've had an international friendly here at the National Stadium, Robbie. And so the expectation was that we'd have seen maybe a lot more fans here to view this game between Jamaica, who ranked number 1 in the region.
Yes.
Against Grenada, who's ranked maybe 9th in the CFU rankings. Jamaica, the second attempt here to goal. What's going to happen? He goes and scores again, and this time it's Peter Vassell who finds the second goal for Jamaica. A sloppy bit of work here by the defense of Grenada again, and Jamaica just walking through the defense of Grenada. And Peter Vassell it is who finds the second goal in the 20th minute. So a goal in the 12th minute and a second goal in the 20th minute for Jamaica. Peter Vassell putting Jamaica 2 goals up.
Again, you see that through pass beating everybody in the back line, all defenders being caught flat-footed, and the strikers have to run on for 1v1 opportunity with the goalkeeper. Look at that. It's pretty much open.
And Shannon Phillip caught in no man's land. They're having to trek back, but not enough speed. Belfont coming off his line, unable to stop it. And it's 2-0 in favor of the Reggae boys from Jamaica. So it's a pretty much impressive start from what we've seen earlier on. Jamaica being able to convert the opportunities that they had. They've only had 2 opportunities and been able to convert both of them. And some more sloppy work here in the defense of Grenada. And I was remarking earlier, Robbie, that the first goal may have just ruffled them up a bit. And we see it already, a breakdown in the play for Grenada. Jamaica may just have just opened the floodgates here, and we may see several more goals to come if the Grenadian defenders continue in that mode.
Well, let's hope not. Let's hope it's a lot more of a competitive game. As we mentioned earlier, Smitty, there is more of a familiarity at the back line of Grenada. They all play for the same club, so there should be a better level of communication and coordination. Leon St. John, Shannon Phillip, Alec Wilson, Michael Gannis, they all play for the Hurricanes Sports Club. And as much as Grenada looks okay in the middle and in the final third, they always look shaky in that defensive third. So that needs to be worked on early. And it's only so much a coach can say from the bench. Players need to take initiative and change their own fate.
I think somebody needs to step up the pace of the game. The game, I think, needs a lot more intensity. I mean, the way it's been played now, it will obviously favor Jamaica with their style of possession football and knocking it around. Grenada really needs to hustle them some more, in my opinion, and really take the game to Jamaica at this stage.
So foul there by Grenada on Jamaica. Yeah, they need a few players to take some initiative. So a few Grenadian players need to step up. It's early, and I keep on saying a bit loosely, but it is early. It's only 22 minutes played in the game.
Jamaica down the right-hand side now with Daniel Green, the scorer of the first goal for Jamaica. Looks inside and finds his goal-scoring teammate Peter Vassell. Vassell slipping in the process. And now he's with Fabian McCarthy. McCarthy finds Shaw. So Jamaica continuing to enjoy possession football here at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Cedric Lewis here, a one-man show up front. Being really hustled by the defenders of Jamaica. Jamaica again, skipper Marshall in his defense. Series of poor passes by Grenada as well, Robbie. Earlier on we saw the Grenadians putting together quite a few passes, but the passes now a lot more to be desired from them. And I would think that coach Shalvi Joseph might be screaming instructions from the bench.
Yeah, then they need to regain their composure. I mean, I think that having conceded 2 early goals, they must have thrown them off a bit. So they need to settle down a bit more. Regain that composure that you had from the first 10 or so minutes.
Grenada might also need to look to the bench quite early. As the likes of Denron Toko Daniel, we know he can be a very aggressive striker. Also on the bench for Grenada, we have Shade Mark Riquel Charles, one of the Queen's Park Rangers club, can be a potent striker as well.
Yeah, well, but I think most of their problem might be in defense. And I'm looking on the bench there. You look at the likes of God Thomas, who has professional experience playing in Trinidad. You also have Kimron Marshall, but most of our God Thomas. God plays left back. Kimron Marshall, more of a central defender. If you want more stability in your midfield, you have choices in Stephen Whiteman and Chad Mark.
The play continues here. Jamaica in the yellow, Grenada in the green. Alec Wilson looking to make that searching ball here for Cedric Lewis. It's not going to work here today. I think both teams have quite a lot of work to do in their style of play. We're not seeing that high standard, in my opinion, Robbie. I still think that both teams have quite a lot of work to do, and I think they'll be just searching themselves to see where they can improve. The coaches maybe looking at the teams. In the case of Shalri, for the first time, a shot on goal here.
Good attempt there by Karim Kutain.
Was not too difficult for the goalkeeper, but he really made a little meal out of it in the end. But in safe hands At the same time, that's goalkeeper Amal Knight for Jamaica. Finds Ricardo Thomas, who kicks it into the back of Coutain. Nice takedown here by Jamaica. Ball given away easily by Grenada.
And again by Leon St. John.
Making a good pass here is Vassell. Finds his man nicely. Jamaica in a dangerous position here. Fabian McCarthy.
Offside. Yeah, skipper Leon St. John is having a bit of the heebie-jeebies.
You should explain to us what that means, Robbie.
The guy's nervous, man. Yeah, too many butterflies. And especially when you have the armband, you have to show greater leadership.
He's the most senior player, at least by age, in this lineup. Only player, I think, over 30 in the lineup for Grenada is skipper. Again, mistake here by Grenada. And there's only the offside rule to save them on this occasion. Peter Vassell was right there waiting to get his second one. Hickson in the middle of the field. Ball played wide. They're looking for Theodore. Shannon Phillip here. Number of bad passes from Phillip so far. Hickson, we expect a lot more from Hickson in the middle of the field. That's Hickson there for you again. Jamaica on the counter attack now. Kevin Isaacs finds McCarthy. McCarthy looking to find Fabian Reed. It's going to be a throw in for Grenada. Shavon John Brown here being really contested by the likes of Johnny Talbot, the right back for Jamaica. Jamaica moving the play from right to left. Finds Ricardo Thomas. Thomas finds Alex. Alex loses the ball in the process. And now it's back to Grenada. Alec Andel, who goes all the way back to skipper Leon St. John. St. John goes wide and looks for Garnes. Shavon John Brown. A few passes put together here by Grenada. Strength here being called into play by Hickson. But it's strongly contested here by McCarthy is Hickson. Hickson goes down. Referee says continue. Shavon John Brown has it for Grenada. It's challenged here by two Jamaicans. Loses the ball is Shavon John Brown.
I think he was trying to kick it off the Jamaican in order to win a corner. Good attempt there, but unsuccessful. A good attempt.
Quite the docile crowd here this evening, Robbie. Not much to shout for Grenada yet. I'm sure they would have been disappointed in the 2 goals that were scored by Jamaica and the poor effort of the defenders.
They are, but they could also be the catalyst for Grenadian comeback. Normally refer to them as that 12th man. If they can give you good support, it can push the guys forward.
Shannon Phillip for Grenada now. Looking to find Shavon John Brown, who have moved from the left-hand side to the right-hand side now.
Cedric Lewis.
Cedric Lewis, I beg your pardon. So we see some movements here by Cedric Lewis. He's playing the lone striker up front. That Shavon John Brown here now gets inside of the penalty area and looking maybe to do too much with it here. Easily loses the ball to Tevin Shaw as Jamaica looking to make that overhead pass to find Daniel Green. Grenada giving away the ball easily on this occasion. Jamaica in the middle of the field. Gets away from his man nicely. Makes the nice pass down the left-hand side for Alex. Alex fumbles in the process. Then the shot comes in, but Belfont is going to take it nicely. It looks like a corner from our vantage point.
That through pass again is beating the Grenadian back line. And they need to work on that. They really, really need to work on that. It's happening too often.
Because Grenada is playing a very flat defense. Down the left-hand side and having a shot on goal, but missing on this occasion. Again, that was Daniel Green. Daniel Green, thirsty for his second goal, Robbie. And from the looks of it, I think we'll get a second goal from Daniel. He's finding himself in some very nice position as a striker. And the true passes, as we continue to lament, continue to split the defense of Grenada wide apart. Pretty much flat defense on many occasions. Shannon Phillip and Leah St. John getting beaten by the true passes.
You have to get a better response. Starting from a midfield. The likes of Alec Andel in that defensive midfield position. Looks like Fabian Reed getting some medical attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Remember the U19 tournament final.
So we've just gone past the half hour mark, Robbie, and Jamaica leads this one 2-0. Grenada maybe having one attempt on goal, and Jamaica having converted the 2 attempts. They've had some other shots on goal as well. But Jamaica, after Grenada, would have had a promising start, really took control of the game and enjoying greater ball possession, and looking very solid in defense as well. The lone striker for Grenada, Cedric Lewis, having a very difficult time up front.
I thought as well that that the Grenadian midfield is not really doing their best to get a connection with the strikers. It's too much long balls to the strikers, or he's getting it a bit too high. He needs to get it more into the box. Is it long passes, or he's getting it just a bit too much outside?
Good run here again by Peters. That's Peter Vassell. He has a cracker on goal. Belfont comes up with it on the second attempt. But again, the intention was clear here by Peter Vassell. Shot on goal.
Remember a few years ago, England had a striker, Daraz Vassell. Started from the back, pushing forward.
We'd love to see either teams putting together maybe a good 15-20 passes before even trying to read on goal or to attack on goal, but we're not seeing that here this evening. Hickson it is, looking to cross that one in the middle, looking for the Grenadians here. As the confusion continues in the penalty area. And that was Karim Kutain, again not on his favorite foot, and not troubling the goalkeeper at all. A player is down here for Jamaica. Seems to be out for the count, so to speak.
Seems to be a head injury.
Referee Kimball Ward from St. Kitts doing a pretty good job thus far, Robbie.
Yeah, mostly. I still thought he took a bit long to blow that, because I thought the head injury was that obvious.
See the concussion protocol been put into effect there by the physio for Jamaica.
And so hope for the best, hope that he's all right, and hope that he's able to continue.
The Jamaicans are everywhere. We see quite a few of them in the stands as well.
Yes. Yes.
A pretty strong Jamaican community in Grenada as well. I mean, just outside the stadium we get Jamaican jerk pork and jerk chicken as well.
The Jamaicans are also known for their food. So you see, it's like So you wonder if it's right there that the boot of Cedric Lewis connected with the player's head. Never intentional, obviously not.
The play continues. Amal Knight it is for Jamaica with a long kick. There we see the poor passing again. Ball easily given away by Grenada. Grenada having to reset this one. So skipper St. John finds Hickson. Shannon Phillip. Shannon Phillip would have had a very long career for Grenada as defender. Plays for Hurricane in the local Premier League.
Yeah, he's been playing for the national senior team as of 17.
Jason Belfort unable to keep a clean sheet here tonight. Already conceding 2 goals.
No, this is what Grenada was doing well for the first 10 or so minutes. They were defending and pressing against Jamaica in that final third. And sometimes they slacked off a bit off. Throw again for Jamaica. Throw to be taken by McCarthy. The Jamaicans, Smithy, they look a lot more technically sound than the Grenadians.
Well, in listening to Coach Shalby Joseph in his press interview, he did indicate that was one of the weak areas in the Grenada team that he was working on. Their technical ability and their game coordination and the understanding of the game, etc. So that has been brought into sharp focus here in this encounter. How well they would have improved in those areas. That's Hickson here.
Hickson dropping rather deep.
Easily given away, and Jamaica looking to come forward again. We've been caught in the offside position on this occasion. Grenada is trying to play that high backline, Robbie, but it's been played very flat. And as a result of that, we saw the 2 goals coming through some true passes that really split the defense apart and left them in no man's land. If you're going to be playing a high defense, you have to be well coordinated.
Yes.
And your defense has to have speed as well, so that if it doesn't work, they have enough time and speed to recover.
Yeah, you need pace at the back. And looking at the back line, the pace is not so much there. It's there on the wings, at least, on the wing backs. In Makelganes, he has some good pace. Alec Wilson is no slouch. But Shannon Phillip and Leon St. John at centre back are a bit flat-footed.
Good move here by the Grenadian on the left-hand side, but been fouled here by Alex Marshall. Interesting to see Alex Marshall moving from the left side of the field to the right side now. And he seems to be that kind of a versatile player.
And you see again that the foul was on Makelganes. The Jamaicans are going to have a tough time marking Makel. And again, as we spoke about the pace of Makel.
So Shavon John Brown is going to take the free kick. Let's see. We heard Shalby Joseph talking about tactical plays that he was working on for the last month. Let's see what sort of set play he has drilled his players for. With just under 5 minutes remaining in the first half in regulation time. We've had a few minor stoppages. But let's see what happens here with the set play by Grenada. Obviously a set play looking for Cedric on the front post, but not been successful here. As Jamaica push forward quickly on the counter-attack. Okay, the defense looks to be in shambles here. Not sure where they are, Robbie. And giving away the easy corner here to Jamaica.
And so much errors by the skipper, Leon St. John. And you know what, Smithy? Typically, he's a far better defender than the game he's having tonight. So probably for someone looking at him for the first time, they would say, he's no good. But normally, he's a very good defender. So it's just that he's having one of those rough nights.
So you see one of the fans there expressing how they feel about the game, Robbie. It really lacks a lot of excitement. I would agree, and I think both teams coming out in the second half would show a lot more grit and more guts moving forward. Corner taken, looking for big burly figure at the back, unable to find him.
Would you say that St. John's being played out of position? Because normally Smithy, he plays at a wing back position. I mean, I'm not making excuses for him, but I'm just trying to. It's offside.
Pass here, but caught in the offside position, and that is Alex Marshall, who has moved from the left-hand side to the right-hand side, and was able to find Daniel Green, who was caught in the offside position, but a good play here by Alex Marshall.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make excuses for St. John, but I'm just trying to figure out what is going wrong with him tonight, because he's not his typical self.
Well, it happens to the best of us, Robbie. We saw the likes of the greats at the World Cup, Robbie, not having the typical best or good games.
It's true. It's true. And there's always the added pressure playing at home.
So just about 2.5 minutes left in regulation time in the first half of this encounter, this international friendly between the Reggae boys and the Spice boys here at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium in Spice capital St. George, Grenada. Jamaica enjoying a 2-0 advantage at the moment. A foul been committed here on Hickson. Hickson, we know, can do quite a lot for Grenada in the midfield. He likes to hold on to the ball. He likes to coordinate the midfield. We've not seen so much of that this evening. Applies this trade in Trinidad for W connection, and he really makes a difference to the Grenada midfield.
The workload for him is great, and he needs greater support.
Another set play here by Grenada. Danger averted by the defense of Jamaica. Grenada still has it and looking to move forward, but gives it away here into touch. Quite a cross-section of spectators down here at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. A football love in public, I would say, or a sporting love in public is the Grenadian fans, and I think that's the same maybe throughout the entire region. And they have come on down here in the hundreds to look at the national team in this international friendly against the Reggae boys.
It's just at the end of the carnival season here in Grenada, so it's a perfect time for some visitors to get something else other than the carnival festivities. You get some nice football to see a national team before they go back to wherever they come from, whether it's Europe or North America or even within the region. A lot of visitors this year for the carnival.
Absolutely, Robbie. I'm sure, if not all of them, many of them are here to look at this Grenada team before they go back to their various destinations. But I'm sure the Jamaicans who have come in for Carnival are doing just the same.
Yes. I would love to know the stats on the increase in visitors for this season. Coach Whitmore, Chapa. It's a lethal striker in his time.
Not too satisfied with the referee's assistant on this side of the field.
And with that team, with the likes of him and Dion Burton and Robbie Earl, Orlando Lowe. Jamaica had a lot of options on top, a lot of guys who can.
So we know, Robbie,
answer the call.
time added on for stoppages in the first half of this encounter. We will indicate to you how much time has been added on for stoppages, but we certainly into time added on for stoppages. Grenada may be having the very last attempt here in the first half. Not a very good effort here, but Grenada still has it. Hickson looking to take that long shot. And the ball is still at Grenada in the green. Jamaica have been called to defend on this occasion. The likes of Ricardo Thomas. As Philip for Grenada in back finds his skipper here, St. John. And gone looking for, it's a Garnis to Shavon John Brown. Jamaica, all 11 players except for one now, in their defensive half of the field. Been put under some slight pressure here by Grenada in the dying stages of the first half. Jamaica looking to come out of that hole, and it's doing so now. The boot go up here, and that's Daniel Green who goes down for Jamaica.
Crowd.
Daniel Green.
The crowd not too satisfied with that.
First yellow card to be issued by referee Kimball Ward from St. Kitts. And picking up the first yellow card here for Grenada is Alec Andal.
He seems to be really surprised for that yellow card. It's a foul, definitely. It warranted a yellow card, I question it. But it's definitely a foul.
So this might very well be the last opportunity for Jamaica in the first half to attack the goal of Grenada, because we're already into time added on for stoppages. And there were quite a few stoppages in the first half. And the lining up behind that one is the scorer of the second goal for Jamaica. That's Peter Vassell. Yeah, some assistance here by Alec Marshall, who is very close to him. Let's see what's the set play here for Jamaica. Straight into the wall, and that's the whistle to indicate the end of the first half, Robbie. Not much exciting football in this first half. Not much coordination and composure by both teams. Not great possession football as well. But nonetheless, Jamaica going 2 goals up in this first half. And I'm sure if you were any of the coaches, you'd have quite a lot to say during that halftime interval in the dressing room. So we saw 2 goals. The first goal coming in the 12th minute of play by Daniel Green, and the second goal in the 20th minute of play by Peter Vassell. Your own thoughts and assessment on the first half, Robbie?
It's a deserved lead by Jamaica. I thought that they were the better team. They seem a lot more composed than Grenada. A lot. Technically, they look far better than Grenada as well. Love the true passes from the midfield, connecting with the strikers and even with the wingers as well. Grenada needs to settle. Yes, they definitely lack a lot of composure. The communication was not there. The coordination was not there. And let's see how well they respond to the instructions of Coach Joseph for the next 15 minutes.
If I were to sum it up, Robbie, I would say that in the defensive area, Jamaica really outdid Grenada. Grenada was very, very uncoordinated and disjointed in the defensive area. And we saw the goals coming by some nice through passes that really caught the defense off guard. On the other hand, Jamaica were very resolute, very strong, very coordinated in the back by their skipper. And in the midfield, it was a mixed bag here. Both teams were sort of ragged in the midfield. Occasionally, we saw a couple passes being put together. And in the offensive area, definitely Jamaica looked the better team here and been able to score 2 goals in the first half. So we look forward to what the coaches are going to be saying in the halftime interval. We're going to be back with you with some more live action in this international friendly between the Spice Boys from Grenada and the Reggae Boys from Jamaica. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more football action in just about 15 minutes' time.
Come out and watch the Jamaican Reggae girls strike hard as they enter the final round of the 2018 Concacaf Caribbean Women's Championship Qualifiers. The Reggae girls will open their campaign against the Antiguans on August 25 at 6 p.m. before facing Bermuda on August 27 at 7 p.m. The girls will then take on Trinidad on August 31 at 7 p.m. before ending against Cuba on September 2 at 6 p.m. For more information, visit our JFF Live digital platforms. The girls need your support on the road to France. Let's make the home advantage count. It's time for the Jamaican senior reggae boys to make their debut in CONCACAF's newest tournament, the Nations League. The boys will face the Cayman Islands at the Office, the National Stadium in Kingston, Jamaica, on Sunday, September 9. Kickoff time 7 p.m. Save the date because you won't want to miss it. For more information, visit our JFF Live digital pages. Come out to support our reggae boys as they officially begin their journey to Qatar 2022.
See the sun rise up, everything's okay. It's a beautiful day. Feeling so good, I'm glad I'm hydrated. For a day, the water way. One buckle, two buckle, three buckle, four. Water everybody needs, so I gotta make sure. When I work all day or I'm with the family, I'm doing what's right for me. I see the sun rise up, everything's okay. It's a beautiful day. Feeling so good, I'm glad I'm hydrated. For a day, the water way.
Come out and watch the Jamaican Reggae girls strike hard as they enter the final round of the 2018 Concacaf Caribbean Women's Championship Qualifiers. The Reggae girls will open their campaign against the Antiguans on August 25 at 6 p.m. before facing Bermuda on August 27 at 7 p.m. The girls will then take on Trinidad on August 31 at 7 p.m. before ending against Cuba on September 2 at 6 p.m. For more information, visit our JFF Live digital platforms. The girls need your support on the road to France. Let's make the home advantage count. It's time for the Jamaican senior reggae boys to make their debut in CONCACAF's newest tournament, the Nations League. The boys will face the Cayman Islands at the Office, the National Stadium in Kingston, Jamaica, on Sunday, September 9. Kickoff time 7 p.m. Save the date because you won't want to miss it. For more information, visit our JFF Live digital pages. Come out to support our Reggae boys as they officially begin their journey to Qatar 2022.
See the sunrise up, everything's okay. It's a beautiful day. Feeling so good, I'm glad I'm hydrated. For a day, the water way. One buckle, two buckle, three buckle, four. Water everybody needs, so I gotta make sure. When I work all day or I'm with the family, I'm doing what's right for me. I see the sunrise up, everything's okay. It's a beautiful day. Feeling so good, I'm glad I'm hydrated. For a day, the water way.
We welcome you back to the Kirani James Athletic Stadium in downtown Spice capital, St. George, Grenada, for the international friendly between the Spice Boys from Grenada and the Reggae Boys of Jamaica. The halftime score, Jamaica 2-0. Goals scored by Daniel Green in the 12th minute and Vassell, that's Peter Vassell, in the 20th minute. Both teams look pretty much uncertain during the first half, Robbie, and I'm sure the coaches would have had a lot of screaming to do during the halftime interval and to reassess themselves and come back with a lot more vigor and purpose in the second half. Both teams look really below par from my own assessment in the first half, and I'm looking to see much more purposeful and better football in the second half of the second half.
Let's be hopeful for the second half, and let's hope that we get far better football, especially from the Grenadians. See the first substitution there for Grenada.
It looks as though it is Karim Kutain who has been substituted. And coming on looks like Recker Charles. Recker Charles, the son of Ricky Curry Charles, who would have been a seasoned campaigner for Grenada from yesteryear. I had the opportunity to speak to Anthony Nixon Modest during the halftime interval. Pretty much very dissatisfied with what he has seen so far. And I'm sure the likes of Kenton Fry Roberts, who is looking on from the USA, might be very disappointing too in this Grenada lineup today. We look forward to see much more purposeful football from both teams. Jamaica not looking their very best as well, I must admit too. Although they were able to score 2 goals in the first half, I'm sure they're looking to do much better in the second half of this encounter.
I'm surprised by that sub, Smitty. Karim looked one of the better players for the first half, and there's no way I would have taken him off as compared to someone in the back line, a central back line, or even in midfield. There's no way he would have been the first.
The biggest surprise for me was who actually came on. I would have thought that a Denron Toko Daniel would have maybe made a bigger impact coming onto the field now than a Recker Charles. But Shalwi Joseph is the man in charge, and he calls the shots, and that's his decision. Grenada looking to come for that's Recker Charles, who would have just come on here, and a lot of confidence in himself, but giving away the ball easily in the end is Recker Charles, as Jamaica comes down that left-hand side here now. Looks like Alex, who loses the ball in the process here to goalkeeper Belfon. Jamaica, Kevin Isaacs. We didn't see much of him featured in the first half, but he's there. Solid back in Johnny Talbot, and his skipper Ladell Ritchie. Let's see who had the better team talk during the halftime. Let's see who comes out with more purpose, who hits the ground with the boots running, and who looks much more purposeful. Already the pace has picked up from what we saw in the first half, and both teams looking to settle in quickly. Jamaica with an opportunity here, and that's very easy. It's the second goal here for Peter Vassell. Easy picking here for Jamaica now. Peter Vassell not even celebrating. First, that one was easy for him. His second goal of the night, and a strong contender here for player of the game already is Peter Vassell.
That was way too easy there, Smitty.
So in the 47th minute of play, Robbie, goal number 3 for Jamaica, and I think the fat lady is beginning to sing maybe.
Yeah, singing really loud as well. That's not the way that Coach Joseph would have liked to resume.
Start his career as a national.
Yeah, he would resume the second half. Yeah, but no way. That's baptism by fire.
I'm sure that Patrick Modeste and the others are wondering what's happening here with this national team. Shaban John Brown, it is here, yet to impress today.
There has been another substitution by Grenada, one that we didn't pick up on. On the field here is Whiteman. Stephen Whiteman.
Yeah, that's Stephen Whiteman there.
Not too sure who he came on for. But he's a welcome substitute.
I think the addition of Whiteman is ready to bolster the midfield. Grenada looked pretty shabby in the first half in the midfield, and I'm sure the inclusion of Whiteman here is to strengthen the midfield. But in addition to strengthening the midfield, they need that potency, that striking power up front. And at the moment, Cedric Lewis has not been able to do it by himself. I think he needs a striking partner. He needs more support coming from behind.
My problem is the midfield, though. I mean, you could have the best striker on top there, but if he's not getting supply, then there's only so much he can do. I think the midfield has really been letting the strikers down. They have not been properly serviced.
Let's see what Grenada can do now down the right-hand side. Quasim Theodore. As we look back to see the goal that was scored by Jamaica, by Peter Vassell. That's him. They're picking up an easy one here, not having any difficulty whatsoever. Belfon not been given much of a chance here. That was goal number 3 for Jamaica. So Coach Charlie Joseph, on his first outing as a senior national coach, will have quite a lot of work to do. I'm not too sure if he has good material to work with at this stage, but nonetheless, we expect to see some sort of an intent from Coach Charlie Joseph, using the resources available to him, at least in structure and strategy of the team and the intent of the team here. Some quick substitutions he made, so obviously he's not too satisfied with what he's seen himself. And let's see what the youngsters for Grenada can put on during the second half. A very early goal by Jamaica would really dampen their spirits, but with the resiliency we know Grenadians have, I'm sure that they would want to rise from the phoenix, rise from the ashes and bounce back, and at least pull 1 or 2 goals back here for Grenada to at least satisfy the fans who have turned up here to look at them.
The substitution was Stephen Whiteman in and Shannon Phillip out. So Stephen Whiteman in, Shannon Phillip out. So then we see Alec Andel seem to be going back to play in that back line, and Whiteman going into the midfield.
Well, it's actually Recker Charles that has been substituted.
But Recker came in for Kareem, but Stephen Whiteman came in for Shannon Phillip.
Yes. And I was looking at the first half, Robbie, and I look at the way the Grenada defenders are playing. And I'm saying if Jamaica had a really deadly striker with speed, he would really pose a lot of more problems for the Grenada back line with speed and aggression, because they're very lackluster in the back.
Yes.
And a good striker would cause a lot of problems for them.
Mind you, the wing backs of Grenada have been pretty much satisfactory. Alec Wilson on the right and Michael Ganis on the left. They're
shot on goal here by
Hickson.
And the goalkeeper Knight having been called to action and making the timely save here to avoid any danger for the Jamaicans. So it's the first corner for Grenada in the second half. It's actually the 3rd corner in the match so far.
Still not getting the numbers up for the corner, Smitty.
Charles having a shot on goal on his favorite left foot. That's Whiteman looking to have a shot as well. Nothing to really bother goalkeeper Knight, as Jamaica comes on the left-hand side here now with Thomas. Thomas gives it away. Whiteman. Presence already been felt in the midfield by Whiteman. Shavan John Brown playing much deeper in the second half. So some structural changes been made by Coach Joseph as well, Robbie. We see some players being put into different positions. So obviously he has looked at the team during the first half and made some changes, hoping to have a more positive impact during the second half.
You can't get any worse than how they played in the first half. So it's good intent shown by Coach Joseph to get an improved play by Team Grenada.
Thomas to take the throw for Jamaica. Finds McCarthy. Tevin Shoyd is... And Grenada looking to push that ball forward here. Passes are not very good in very, very tight spaces. Jamaica in the middle of the field here. And both teams are having their moments of brilliance, but on more occasions, a lot to be desired of. Quite frankly, I expected much more from both teams, but let's see, maybe they're very circumspect, very tentative, very apprehensive in their approach.
I mean, it still is David versus Goliath. Jamaica 54 in the world, Grenada 168.
Grenada looking to squeeze Jamaica into their own half of the field. Jamaica would have to call on the strength and the ability to regain possession and find the spaces and knock the ball around. Just play for keeps now, maybe. Both teams having difficulty in passing the ball around. Charles looking to find his striking partner.
That long diagonal ball has not worked for Grenada in the first half, and we see it still being continued in the second half.
So Robbie, quite noticeable is Whiteman, who has come in here. Whiteman plays for the Paradise FC, and we can see his intent to hold the ball and to look for his players. That's Shavon John Brown on top the penalty area here. Finds Charles, Recker Charles, who favors his left foot a lot. Curls this one in, looking for his striker, and finds the back of the net. That look at Cedrel Charles in the 56th minute of play. Grenada pulling one back. Cedrel Lewis, I beg your pardon, pulling one back for Grenada, much to the delight of the fans who are here. And Recker Charles coming off the bench, Robbie, and making a difference here, being able to cross that one in, finding the head of Cedrel Lewis, and Grenada pulls one back in the 56th minute of play.
Very good finish there by Cedrel Lewis, and yes, very good pass from the left winger in Recker Charles.
That was Recker Charles putting it on his favorite left foot, getting the crossing, curling sharply towards goal. Lewis not been marked properly and getting the glancing header, beating goalkeeper Knight off the line, and Grenada pulling one back here to score 3-1 in favor of Jamaica. So a consolation goal, so to speak, here, bringing the fans to life.
And it could be the catalyst or resurgence. So let's see what Team Grenada brings after this.
Yeah, one goal can make a difference.
Of course.
It can really lift your spirit, and it can give you that impetus that you were looking for all through the match.
And yes, their record against Jamaica is terrible, but their only 2 victories ever have been at home.
And the last victory, they had to come from behind to beat Jamaica 2-1.
This is a big call, though. I mean, to come from 3 goals down, it's a huge call.
So just when we thought Grenada were done and dusted, Cedrel Lewis was able to find the back of the old onion bag for Grenada and giving some more life to this Grenada outfit here at the National Stadium. As the goal scorer is Cedrel Lewis, really been pumped up here now. Confidence level beaming, I would think, is Lewis.
You know, some people queried starting Cedrel Lewis over Denron Daniel. But I think that he's a better choice with regards to technical ability. He's better with the ball between his legs. Denron Daniel is more of one touch and boost kind of play, if you want to call him the kind of. He's not the type to hold it up and make those kind of passes. He's more of a 1v1 kind of striker, take you on busy. But Cedrel Lewis is the one that you have more confidence in with regards to come up against a whole back line or two defenders or 3 defenders.
And let's see what the set play is here on this occasion. Recker Charles culling against sharply. Goalkeeper goes up and makes a timely save. But Robbie, we must give credit to Coach Shalvi Joseph. The substitutions have really made some difference here for Grenada. We saw Whiteman coming in and taking charge of the midfield, and then Recker Charles out on that right-hand side, being able to make that very good cross. So the two substitutes really coming into play nicely here, and so we must give credit to Coach Shalvi Joseph.
I mean, I questioned it at first, especially with the substitution of Karim against Recker, but it is proven.
Sleeping defense here again, but good stay. An own goal, it seems here.
Buddy.
It looks like an own goal scored by skipper Leon St. John.
In the 59th minute.
But again, the defense was caught sleeping. Goalkeeper Belfon came off and made the initial save, and the ball ricocheted into the legs of skipper Leah St. John, and that will be counted as an own goal for Grenada. There we see the defense here sleeping. Getting into the box nicely was Alex. Initial save, and there was skipper St. John. Much to his disappointment here.
Yeah, I feel it for him. I mean, when it rains, it pours. And
we were commenting in the first half that he was having maybe not his best game today, and that just basically
compounds it, huh?
Add insult to injury, sort of, for skipper St. John. So just when we thought Grenada would have gotten that boost from the goal scored by Cedra Lewis, Grenada conceded an own goal. But I thought the central defender on that occasion, I think it would have been Garnes, was really caught napping and really did not drop back and cover.
3 substitutions there by Jamaica.
So Coach Whitmore here making a triple substitution, bringing in some real fresh legs here. I'm sure they're going to be coming running at Grenada now. 3 sets of fresh legs. So we see Peter Vassell going off. Peter Vassell would have done his job for the night, scoring 2 goals.
The three substitutions they made by Jamaica, 11 for 16. 11, Alex Marshall out, and in comes Siobhan Marsh. Second substitution, number 12 for 14. So number 12, Marvin Morgan in, and out goes Fabian Reed. And the last substitution, 17 for 22. 17 out, Peter Vassell. Peter Vassell had a brace. And in comes number 22, Kahim Paris.
So Jamaica ringing in the changes. Grenada thus far making 2 changes at the halftime interval. Jamaica just about making the 3 changes at the 60th minute. So we still have a lot of time left in this encounter. We would love to see, for the sake of the fans, Robbie, maybe a second or third goal by Grenada. Maybe giving Jamaica a push to the final whistle, just to bolster the fans who are here and to encourage them to continue their support for the national team. Coach Shalvi Joseph has a lot of work to do. He has his work cut out for him. He's been scrutinized as well. I mean, we know him as one of the most celebrated players for Grenada, himself and Jason Roberts. But tonight he's been called to perform in a different capacity. Foul committed here on Grenada, and maybe just a moment for Grenada to breathe a little easier.
Shari is also a veteran of the MLS.
On several occasions too, he has been named Caribbean Footballer of the Year as well.
That's right.
His first stint as the senior national coach, his first game actually. He was there in St. Kitts recently when Grenada played. He looked on from the stands, and this is an opportunity here now for him to direct the show. So still on the bench for Grenada, we have Denron Frederick, Chad Mark, Kimran Marshall, Shadai Mark, Garth Thomas, Shaka Lamadi. I'm sure Coach Shalvi Joseph would want to see some of these players tonight as well. Nice little combination here between the Grenadians. Looking to get it inside here, but a sea of Jamaicans converge on this one and averting danger. So Grenada looking a lot more purposeful in the second half, and maybe the fresh legs of Whiteman and Charles and the instructions received during the halftime would have been responsible for that. Again, it's very crowded in that area of the field. The eagerness of both teams just to gain possession of the ball. We see Shannon Phillip there with the ice pack, so obviously he would have received some kind of injury, and that may have prompted his substitution during the halftime interval. But I pretty much relaxed the bench too, Robbie. They look pretty much not too concerned with what's happening.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they don't seem too concerned. They don't look too eager to get on that field.
Jamaica looking to move forward again. But I think the substitution of Alex Marshall and Peter Vassell would affect the level of play of the Jamaicans. We get to see what the substituted players bring to the field, but Alex Marshall is having a pretty decent game in terms of providing good support to the strikers ahead of him. Peter Vassell was always there. He had the presence of mind of a striker, being able to get the brace tonight.
I think Coach Whitmore is pretty much satisfied with their efforts, and he just wants to see some fresh legs, to see some what other options he have.
Well, he has a lot of opportunity for that because he moves on to Barbados on the weekend.
Yes.
And then on to St. Vincent.
That's right.
Before the first game in the Nations Cup.
So I'm saying Grenada needs some more practice games, friendlies at this kind of competitive level, preparing them for the Nations Cup. Their first game is against Curacao in Curacao on September the 10th. Roughly 2.5 weeks away.
Grenada applying some pressure now on Jamaica. A lot of the play is now in the Jamaican half of the field. Raquel Charles looking to find his man in the middle. Grenada regains position as Jamaica is deep into their own half, looking to make the counter attack here now. But Garnes is there. St. John, I beg your pardon. Some casual effort here by Grenada in the back. Maybe well composed. St. John looking to make that overlapping run down the left hand side, looking for Lewis. Lewis is heavily marked.
So there you see number 9 of Denron Frederick getting ready to come on. But first we will see Shakel Amade, number 20, replacing Hickson.
Shakel Amade of the FC Camohon. And Denron Toko Daniel, who plays for Shamrock.
He's replacing Alec Wilson.
Alec Wilson.
So I think based on knowing the players, Smitty, Amade is going to play in Alec Wilson's position because he normally plays right fullback for FC Camohon. So he's going to play in that position. And somebody's going to fall back in the middle for Hickson and find Frederick on top. Yeah, so you see Cedral Lewis plays more as like a number 10 position. And Frederick goes on top to play that lone striker role. Now Denron Frederick, some games you see he's registered as Denron Frederick, some games he's registered as Denron Daniel. Can't keep track of the guy.
One thing we know for sure, he can be a very dangerous striker.
Yes. recent winner of the Golden Boot in the recently concluded Pure Grenada Cup. Golden Boot winner, also MVP of the tournament.
Jamaica enjoying some possession now. So with the substituted player, that's Karim Paris. Grenada on the counter attack on the right hand side with Recker Charles, who finds Denron Toko Daniel, goes down inside of the penalty area. An appeal for a penalty here. The referee is not going to yield to that. Grenada still with another chance here, and that looks like Whiteman.
Yes.
Was never going to keep this one down by leaning back into the shot. But creating some anxious moments there for the Jamaican back line was that counter attack by the Grenadians down the right hand side. Recker Lewis really making Recker Charles, I beg your pardon, really making a difference down that right hand side there for Grenada. The goal came from that side, and that moment a while ago was also from his effort across the middle of the field. Then Toko Daniel getting his first touch on the game. Jamaica looking to come through with some nippy passes down the left hand side. And this time it's Jamaica again, not only in a corner on this occasion. Some good move here by Chevron Marsh, one of the substitutes who came on a while ago. Fresh legs, so to speak, and really using some speed to outrun the right back for Grenada. So
I'm a bit surprised, Smitty, of the removal of Kennedy Hickson. I mean, yes, it's a friendly, but he has probably been the best midfielder for Grenada.
Corner curl towards the goal here, but it's an easy take for Belfon. You can hear the coach is shouting from the sideline. And look what's happening here now. An easy goal given away by the defense of Grenada. I don't think you can get any worse than that, Robbie. In a serious defensive blunder here by the left back for Grenada, looking to play the ball back to Belfon. Playing it so far from him. The on-rushing striker, the substitute actually, Chevron Marsh, who we just spoke about running down that left-hand side, being able to pick up the loose ball, an open net, so to speak. Had no other choice but to just put it into that old onion bag and get in the 5th goal for Jamaica in the 71st minute of play.
I mean, what was McElganis thinking? Keeper asked for it, yes, but you didn't have to give it to him. And I mean, look, it was a terrible wayward pass. Easy pickings there for Marsh.
I don't think Marsh ever thought he would have gotten an easy goal like that when he left Jamaica to come to Grenada. And even when he was substituted onto the field, he still never had that intention that it was going to be that easy for him. So it's Jamaica 5, Grenada 1.
Very disappointing game here by the Grenadians. Number 6.
Jamaica continues to make the substitutions.
So we see incoming Ray Campbell, number 9 for Jamaica. And he's going to replace Ricardo Thomas.
So Theodore Whitmore obviously wanting to expose as much of his players as possible now. I think he has concluded already that it's an easy victory for him and may just want to experiment a bit and to give some exposure to some of the players to see what they have as he prepares his team for the tournament ahead. Skipper Richie there, ensuring that Daniel does not go past him with the ball. Charles it is who's going to curl this one towards the goal. He does so now, and earns another corner for Grenada. A lot more loop on this one, a lot more height as well.
And not only that, Smitty, you know I've noticed as well from this corner kick or the last 2 corner kicks, you had greater numbers inside by the Grenadian players. Compared to the earlier corner kicks, you're only seeing 3 or 4. You saw like about seven attacking players in the penalty area. It shows greater intent to score.
But Robbie, I think the both teams have quite a lot of work to be done still in their formation, in their lineups, in their style of play going into any tournament. The Jamaica team that we've used to seeing, I don't think we've seen anything close to that here tonight. We've seen better games too from the Grenada outfit. So I think both coaches would have their work cut out for them in terms of preparing their teams for the tournament ahead.
Yeah, but it says a lot. It says a lot of the Grenadian team, because if Jamaica is not sending their best team, and they can still be up on you 5 goals to 1, then it says a lot that you have far more work to do, far greater work. Another substitution by Team Grenada, 14 for 18. So Garth Thomas.
Garnes comes off and Garth Thomas goes in.
It's a direct swap because Garth Thomas is typically a left back. As we said earlier, he has experience playing in the Trinidadian Pro League. Both himself and even Stephen Whiteman.
So both coaches ringing in the changes and experimenting a bit, I would think. And when these things happen, Robbie, the standard of play sometimes get very ragged because the formation has been affected. You're basically looking to see who is basically giving players a chance just to see how well they can perform on the big stage.
Grenada so far have used all of but 3 substitutes. Yet to see Chad Mark, Kimron Marshall, and Chadai Mark.
So just about 75 minutes gone in this one. International friendly between the Spice Boys and the Reggae Boys.
Or Shakel Amadi.
This is a very tight marking here on Darren Daniel by skipper Richie. Obviously, he would have heard something about Darren Daniel. He's keeping a very tight rein on him. It's Whiteman. Poor passing again by St. John. Maybe it's the weight of the armband, Robbie, on St. John this evening.
He's an experienced campaigner, and he should be above that.
Grenada put together a few passes here now. If you look at Coach Whitmore, he's still on the touchline there, and really
he's demanding more from his players.
He's leading 5 goals to 1, but he's still not yet satisfied.
He's not satisfied.
And it's quite understandable. Although his team is 5 goals up to 1, I don't think he is really satisfied with the standard of play of his team.
I mean, let's not forget Jamaica is ranked 124 places higher than Grenada, so he's probably expecting a drop-in. He's coming here to expecting to run over Grenada, and not only that, to correct some of the wrongs, because as we said, Jamaica has not really won on Grenadian soil.
Well, he's taking revenge of the situation.
Yep.
Now.
Yep.
There he is. All of the gesticulations. Jamaica coming forward in numbers. Looking for goal number 6 is Jamaica. Was some tough defensive work here by Stephen Whiteman. Seems to have injured himself in the process. So unlike Jamaica, Grenada does not have any more friendlies to play before that tournament. Jamaica still has 2. And it leads you to wonder how much more can Coach Shalwi Joseph do to really sharpen these players going into a tournament like this?
You're hoping that within the next 2.5 to 3 weeks that they have between the Curacao game, that the local FA here could find some team to play a friendly against. Call it, let's say, 2 weeks. Hopefully between now and the end of the month, because it's a lot to ask of him to play, to go into a tournament without much friendlies, using players that he's not pretty much familiar with.
Well, we just saw a shot of Coach Shalwi Joseph a while ago, and from the looks of it, he's really seemed as though he's looking for the solution to this situation he's in here now. He seems, pretty much dissatisfied with the performance of his team here today, and it's quite understandable. From what we've seen here, I don't think any coach would be satisfied with that kind of performance.
And obviously the boys, they can do better. If they apply themselves, they can do better, and they have the talent, they have the skill. You hope that coming off of the carnival, that the carnival wasn't a distraction for them. Remember, Grenada's carnival just ended 3 days ago. And it's easy for young players to get a bit distracted at this time in the season, not being too focused on the sport and more so in the festivities.
But Grenada did look good at times, Robbie, in all fairness to Shalwi and his team. It's just that the level of consistency with the accurate passing, maintaining good shape, maintaining formation, that was not very consistent. There were times when they were able to put together maybe 6-7 passes. A lot more could have been done. But for the most part of it, I think the defense really let the team down today, and the midfield maybe to a certain extent, and that really broke up the formation of the team quite early. Recker Charles, pretty much involved in a lot of the places he came on as a substitute in the second half. Chips this one forward here. Goalkeeper punching out here, finding Whiteman. Whiteman maybe running out of options here. As Jamaica looking to move out, unable to do so. John Brown goes wide and finds Charles, who takes it down nicely and cuts inside, has a cracker on goal. Goalkeeper having to make the save, fumbles it, and the referee whistle goes. I'm not too sure, Robbie, if it was a foul committed here by Cedric Lewis, but the referee, the whistle going, indicating some infringement of the other. The replay would give us maybe a better idea as to what actually happened, but it was not a clean take by goalkeeper Knight.
No, it wasn't. So you're wondering what was it called? If it's an offside, if it's a foul, because you're right. He didn't have control of the ball.
Here we see the shot came in. Goalkeeper fumbled on rushing.
I think it was
the two
offside.
Strikers, and
from this angle, it looks like offside.
Grenada again looking to come down that right hand side. That's Charles here, creating a lot of problems for the Jamaicans. Denron Daniel missing this one here. Grenada pressing on, Robbie, looking maybe to pull one back just for the fans.
Well, it's good to see that they haven't given up, and there is still some fight left.
And that's the hallmark of a great team, being able to dust yourself off and lace your boots and come back fighting.
And that will give definitely the coach some encouragement as well. That you have players who are showing some resilience.
And what's happening now, Rob, is that Jamaica is always trying to win the ball, as opposed to what we may have expected them having the ball and knocking it around and having Grenada run around the park. They always seem to be wanting to have that ball now. So
there is Quasim Theodore, down for Team Grenada.
So in under 10 minutes to go in regulation time, Jamaica leads this one 5-1. It's an international friendly between the Reggae boys and the Spice boys here at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium in Grenada. The last time the two teams meet, Grenada or the victors having to come from behind to win 2-1. Incidentally, in that last encounter, Coach Shalvi Joseph was a player of the Grenada team in 2008. So too was Jason Roberts, the two of Grenada's most celebrated footballers.
That's it.
And Bowser Wilson was the head coach. He was assisted by Kenton Fry Roberts, who we know at the moment is not too well in New York and is seeking some support out there as well. So we want to say good afternoon or good evening to Kenton Fry Roberts, who is viewing the broadcast from New York. And Shalvi Joseph on the other end of the table now, being the coach, not been as successful as he was as a member of the team in 2008 that defeated Jamaica right here at the National Stadium.
You know, the buzz around or the talk around the Grenada Football Association is not even so much the World Cup in Qatar, but more so the one in North America in 2026. So that push starts from now. A lot more emphasis placed on their grassroots and on the U15s. As a matter of fact, the U14s they left for Jamaica for the CFU U14 Boys Championship. They left this morning.
In addition to that, Robbie, our Spice Princesses have not been doing too bad as well. They just returned from the US, from Florida actually.
Yes.
In the Division 2 of the Under 15 Girls Tournament and placed second to Bermuda. The only game they lost was in that final game, so something to shout about nonetheless.
That's right. And so again, the whole push is for eight so years from now, but we have to be prepared, and the work starts from now. The work starts from a long time ago. So we have a young squad, and that is good. That is good for growth. It is good for development. So yes, they may have lost today, but they will bounce back anytime.
Grenada enjoying some possession at this time. I think the numerous substitutions that have been made by both teams, Jamaica seems to have been more disadvantaged by that. But here they come down the left-hand side. That's Jamaica with Paris. Paris still contending here, but runs out of real estate. And it's going to be a goal kick for Grenada. So a lot more possession being enjoyed by Grenada. Another substitution, Shavan John Brown goes out. And coming in will be Chad Mark. Chad Mark, who plays for Shamrock. Shavan John Brown, who is on the collegiate circuit in North America. The ball is Jamaica now. Substitute Chevon Marsh, who has one goal to his name in this encounter. Maybe the easiest of goals. Chevon Marsh, the 5 goals. We had one in the 12th minute, one in the 20th, the 47th, the 56th, and the 71st minutes of play. Nice shot corner taken here by Jamaica. Cuts inside, still has it. A good save here by Belfont. That was Karim Paris, one of the substitutes who came in there and was looking good as well. Grenada would play right in front of the fans in the main pavilion. Then on Toko Daniel, going to swing this one inside. But there's a corner for Grenada. We have not seen much of Daniel since he came on, Robbie. We expected a lot more from him. We know he can be that potent striker. You mentioned a while ago he was the MVP and the Golden Boot awardee from the Pure Grenada Cup. Really hasn't shined tonight.
Yeah, but see, the problem persists where it's not so much of the striker's fault, it's the midfield. The strikers are not getting service from the midfielders. So a quality striker as himself and Cedric Lewis, they are being starved. but the work effort will be greater from the likes of a Cedric Lewis, because he's more
Well,
like a number 10.
A player as Denron Daniel, would he be best suited to start or to come off the bench as a substitute?
It depends. It depends on the quality of the midfield. It depends on the formation. It depends on what the coach wants. Because on paper you would think that he may be the obvious choice, but I'm agreeing based on the formation that the coach went with here. I'm agreeing with the coach that I would play Cedric Lewis before him. The work rate of a Cedric Lewis is higher, and he's a lot more technically sound than Frederick.
Another push here by Jamaica to get goal number 6. Defense is there for Grenada. The likes of Garth Thomas.
I think all that Denron has over Cedric is pace, and Cedric is no slouch.
So we're just about the 98th minute of play. Got a few stoppages, so we will have some time added on. Jamaica having the ball possession in the final moments. Maybe we should see some nice exhibition football now, Robbie. We have not seen that skiller, as we call it, that player with that exceptional skill on show here this evening. It's pretty much basic and rudimentary football that we've been exposed to.
You know, that's what the coaches rather. They only want you to hold the ball excessive unless you're in a tight position. Your back is against the wall, so to speak. So here we are at the end of regulation, and we see photo official Rayon Radek signaling 2 minutes added on time. So the end is near.
With just under 2 minutes left, Jamaica sitting comfortably in the driver's seat. I would think it would be a very Herculean effort by Grenada to come close to the 5 goals that Jamaica has scored, as they continue to hustle for the ball in the middle of the field, and that has been the nature of the game. No team has really dominated possession. Obviously one team would have had more possession than the other, but there was no real dominance of possession by any of the teams on show here tonight. It was one of those games, Robbie, that could have gone either way. Jamaica obviously taking advantage of the opportunities that they've had. They look stronger in the back as well, and was able to keep the Grenadian attackers out.
Yeah, Jamaica always look way strong at the back. No, kudos to them. I'm not too certain the game could have gone anyway. They always seem a lot more composed and a lot more technically sound. For Grenadians, back to the drawing board, and to an extent back to the drawing board for Jamaica as well. They have not played their best football, and it's more so much of the errors made by Grenada rather than Jamaica outplaying Grenada. Be interested to see how Jamaica plays against Barbados on Monday.
Well, we're counting down the final moments of this encounter, Robbie. Just about 5 seconds left from the 2 minutes that have been added on for stoppages. So any moment now we will hear that final whistle from referee Kimball Ward from St. Kitts. We've just gone past the 2 minute added on for stoppages. He looks at his watch now and he blows that final whistle to indicate the end of the match. The encounter between Grenada and Jamaica, between the Reggae boys and the Spice boys. A game that has been won by Jamaica 5 goals to 1. The scoreline dominated by Jamaica. It's a game that we expected a lot more, but in terms of goals, we've seen 5 goals scored here tonight. The first goal came from the booth of Daniel Green in the 12th minute of play, and then there was a brace in the 20th minute and the 47th minute by Peter Vassell, and then there was an own goal by skipper St. John in the 56th minute of play. And the final goal came in the 71st minute of play by substitute Chevon Marsh. So Jamaica winning this one very comfortable, Robbie, and no doubt they will go into the next encounter in Barbados feeling very much comfortable that they would have accomplished quite a lot here. I'm sure Coach Whitmore would have a lot more to work with his players. So too is Coach Shalby Joseph for Grenada. But it was a night when the fans who came out here, I'm sure, would have been expecting more. But nonetheless, we saw 6 goals being scored, an evening when I think football would have won.
Yes, you know what? They're young, and it's good exposure for the youth of both teams. Because throughout the commentary, we keep on saying that we're not satisfied with the level of play by neither Jamaica nor Grenada. But as we said, they're young squads, and it's good to get them exposed, and it's good to get them playing at this level. And you could only get better from here. It's a disappointing game, but you could only get better from here. You can't get worse.
In my own assessment, Robbie, I thought that Grenada needs to do a lot more work in the defensive area. The defense are pretty much slow and lethargic. I thought they were very much disjointed, not very much well coordinated, and so they were caught in no man's land on many occasions. And the straight passes really split the defense apart and caused real chaos to them. Jamaica needs to do a lot of work, I would think, too. I still think they need a very potent striker with skill and speed that can really take it to the defenses. I didn't see that here tonight. And both coaches, obviously, as they say, would have to go back to the drawing board. So we're about to put a wrap on this one, Robbie. Your final thoughts before we close off the broadcast tonight?
Congratulations to Team Jamaica, and all the best to them as they go forward to their game against Barbados. To Team Grenada, well done as well, and we can only get better from here.
Well, viewers, we want to leave you with the sights and sounds at the Q&A James Athletic Stadium. In case you missed it, Jamaica winning this one, the international friendly between Jamaica and Grenada, 5-1. We leave you with this, and we welcome you back to more football action when we get it here at National Stadium. So long and good night.
Come out and watch the Jamaican Reggae Girls strike hard as they enter the final round of the 2018 Concacaf Caribbean Women's Championship Qualifiers. The Reggae Girls will open their campaign against the Antiguans on August 25 at 6 p.m. before facing Bermuda on August 27 at 7 p.m. The girls will then take on Trinidad on August 31 at 7 p.m. before ending against Cuba on September 2 at 6 p.m. For more information, visit our JFF Live digital platforms. The girls need your support on the road to France. Let's make the home advantage count. It's time for the Jamaican Senior Reggae Boys to make their debut in CONCACAF's newest tournament, the Nations League. The boys will face the Cayman Islands at the Office, the National Stadium in Kingston, Jamaica, on Sunday, September 9. Kickoff time 7 p.m. Save the date because you won't want to miss it. For more information, visit our JFF Live digital pages. Come out to support our Reggae Boys as they officially begin their journey to Qatar 2022.
see the sun rise up, everything's okay. It's a beautiful day. Feeling so good, I'm glad I'm hydrated. For a day, the water way. One buckle, two buckle, three buckle, four. What everybody needs, so I gotta make sure. When I work all day or I'm with the family, I'm doing what's right for me. I see the sun rise up, everything's okay. It's a beautiful day. Feeling so good, I'm glad I'm hydrated. For a day, the water way.
Come out and watch the Jamaican Reggae Girls strike hard as they enter the final round of the 2018 Concacaf Caribbean Women's Championship Qualifiers. The Reggae Girls will open their campaign against the Antiguans on August 25 at 6 p.m. before facing Bermuda on August 27 at 7 p.m. The girls will then take on Trinidad on August 31 at 7 p.m. before ending against Cuba on September 2 at 6 p.m. For more information, visit our JFF Live digital platforms. The girls need your support on the road to France. Let's make the home advantage count. It's time for the Jamaican Senior Reggae Boys to make their debut in Concacaf's newest tournament, the Nations League. The boys will face the Cayman Islands at the Office, the National Stadium in Kingston, Jamaica, on Sunday, September 9. Kickoff time 7 p.m. Save the date because you won't want to miss it. For more information, visit our JFF Live digital pages. Come out to support our Reggae Boys as they officially begin their journey to Qatar 2022.
See the sun rise up, everything's okay. It's a beautiful day. Feeling so good, I'm glad I'm hydrated. For a day, the water way. One buckle, two buckle, three buckle, four. What everybody needs, so I gotta make sure. When I work all day or I'm with the family, I'm doing what's right for me. I see the sun rise up, everything's okay. It's a beautiful day. Feeling so good, I'm glad I'm hydrated. For a day, the